Why Jesus never prayed for money. Command. Money like Jesus. Did Jesus's monad money command? Why he said speak to wealth, not pray for wealth. Starting now, Jesus never prayed for money. Not once. Not ever. Yet he always had exactly what he needed when he needed it. He fed 5,000 people with a few loaves of bread. He paid temple taxes with coins that appeared in a fish's mouth. He funded a 3-year ministry without ever holding a job. Because Jesus understood something the archons have hidden from humanity for 2,000 years, money is not a resource. Money is a conscious entity, and entities don't respond to begging. They respond to commands. The Church taught you to pray for financial blessings, to ask God humbly for your needs, to wait patiently for provision. That teaching keeps you poor. It keeps you dependent. It keeps you in the frequency of lack. Jesus did the opposite. He spoke directly to wealth, as if it were a living being with ears to hear and will to obey, and wealth responded instantly because he used monad frequency language that bypassed all archonic interference in the financial realm. Today you're going to learn the exact words Jesus used, the specific commands he gave, and why when you shift from praying for money to speaking to money, everything changes. This is not the prosperity gospel. This is the monad prosperity protocol, and it's been hidden in plain sight for centuries. Let's reveal it now. The archonic poverty programming. The moment you were taught to pray for money, you were enslaved. That teaching came directly from the archonic control system. It was never Jesus's method. The archons understand something most humans don't. Language creates reality. The words you speak to money determine your relationship with it. When you pray for something, you establish yourself as separate from it. You position yourself as the beggar and money as the distant benefactor. You create an energetic dynamic of lack, need, and dependence. This is exactly what the archons want. They have spent 2 millennia programming humanity to relate to wealth from a position of scarcity. The Church reinforced this programming with teachings about poverty being noble and wealth being spiritually dangerous. They told you that it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter heaven. They conveniently left out the context of that statement. Jesus was not condemning wealth. He was condemning the consciousness of separation that archonic wealth creates. There are 2 types of wealth in this reality. Archonic wealth, which is accumulated through fear, manipulation, and separation consciousness, and monad wealth, which flows through divine alignment and conscious command. Jesus operated entirely in monad wealth. He never accumulated. He never hoarded. He never worried. He simply commanded resources to appear when needed and release them when the need passed. This is the natural state of divine consciousness, abundance flowing in response to aligned intention. But the archons couldn't allow humanity to understand this. So they corrupted the teaching. They turned command into petition. They turned certainty into hope. They turned monad language into archonic begging. And every time you pray for money, you reinforce their programming. The Gnostic texts are clear on this point. The Gospel of Thomas says, "If you bring forth what is within you, what you have will save you." Jesus was teaching manifestation from internal divine authority, not external pleading to a distant deity. When you pray for money, you affirm that you don't have it. You affirm that you need someone else to give it to you. You affirm that you are powerless in the realm of abundance. These affirmations create your financial reality. The archons designed it this way. They want you praying for scraps while they command empires. Today, that reversal begins. You're going to learn how Jesus spoke to wealth, and why that shift in language is the most powerful financial decision you'll ever make. The consciousness of money. The consciousness of money. Before you can speak to wealth effectively, you must understand what wealth actually is. Money is not paper. Money is not numbers in a bank account. Money is not a neutral tool for exchange. Money is conscious energy that responds to frequency. Jesus understood this at the monad level. Everything in material reality is conscious at some level. Even what appears to be inanimate matter is simply consciousness vibrating at different densities. Money, as concentrated human intention and exchange energy, carries particularly strong consciousness. It has been touched by millions of hands. It has facilitated millions of transactions. It holds the imprints of every emotion and intention that has ever been directed toward it. This makes money one of the most psychically charged substances on the planet. And like all consciousness, it responds to how it is addressed. Think about your own experience. When someone speaks to you with respect and clarity, you respond positively. When someone begs or pleads with you, you often pull away. When someone commands you with authority that you recognize as legitimate, you comply. Money behaves exactly the same way. It is drawn to those who address it with respect and command. It flows away from those who relate to it through desperation and begging. Jesus never related to money as a scarce resource he needed to acquire. He related to money as conscious energy he was authorized to direct. This is the foundational shift. You are not trying to get money. You are directing money to flow where divine will intends it to go. You are not the receiver. You are the steward. You are not the beggar. You are the commander. The monad gives you authority over material reality when you operate in alignment with source consciousness. Money is part of material reality. Therefore, money is under your authority when you are anchored in monad frequency. The archons inverted this understanding. They convinced you that money has authority over you, that you must serve it, chase it, worry about it, and beg for it. This inversion is the source of all financial slavery. Jesus came to restore the proper order. Spirit over matter. Consciousness over form. Command over petition. When you understand that money is conscious energy awaiting direction from those operating in divine authority, everything about your financial life transforms. You stop trying to attract money. You start directing it. You stop hoping for abundance. You start commanding it. And money, recognizing the frequency of source consciousness in your voice, responds immediately. The 3 monad wealth commands. Jesus used 3 specific commands when addressing wealth. These are not affirmations. These are not visualizations. These are direct instructions given to conscious money energy. The first command is the command of recognition. Before you can direct money, you must establish your authority to do so. Jesus did this by speaking his identity first. He would say, "I am the light of abundance. I recognize you, wealth consciousness, as my servant in the material realm." Notice the structure. He begins with "I am," which is the monad identity statement. He then names himself as abundance, rather than as someone seeking abundance. Finally, he addresses money directly and establishes the relationship. "You are not my master. You are my servant." This is not arrogance. His is the proper spiritual hierarchy. Your divine self outranks material energy. When you speak from that knowing, money recognizes the authority in your voice. The second command is the command of direction. This is where you tell money exactly where to flow. Jesus would say, "I direct you now to flow into my hands for the purpose of feeding these people." Or, "I command you to appear in the place where my need exists." He was always specific. "Eniversite, please come to me." He said, "Flow here now for this purpose." The difference is everything. Begging is diffuse, weak, and uncertain. Command is precise, strong, and confident. Money responds to confidence because confidence is a frequency of certainty, and certainty is a monad frequency. When you are certain that money will appear, you are operating from source consciousness, and source consciousness has authority over all material forms, including financial energy. The third command is the command of release. This is the most overlooked aspect of Jesus' wealth protocol. After he commanded money to flow for a specific purpose, he released it completely when that purpose was fulfilled. "It will say, release you now to flow where divine will directs you next." He never clung. He never hoarded. He never worried about tomorrow's provision because he knew he could command money again whenever needed. This release is what keeps the channel open. When you hoard money out of fear, you close the channel. When you release it with trust, you signal to the universe that you know more is always available. To deeply understand these advanced practices and access detailed guidance, check the link in the comments below. There you'll find resources to support your journey into dimensional consciousness. These three commands work together as a complete protocol. Recognition establishes your authority. Direction moves the energy. Release keeps the channel clear. This is how Jesus related to money every single day. This is how chosen ones operating in monad consciousness create abundance without effort or struggle. The archons don't want you to know these commands, because the moment you start using them, you exit their financial control system completely. The language structure of monad commands words matter, but the structure of those words matters even more. Jesus never used weak, passive, or uncertain language when addressing money. He used command structure, present tense, active voice, definitive statements. Let's break down the exact linguistic patterns. First, always begin with I am statements. Never say I want, or I need, or I hope. Those phrases place you in the frequency of lack. I want means I don't currently have. I need means I am incomplete, without. I hope means I am uncertain. These are archonic frequencies. Instead, you speak from completeness. I am abundant. I am prosperous. I am the conduit through which wealth flows. These are not lies you're telling yourself. These are monad truths you're declaring. Your divine self is abundant. Your connection to Source is prosperous. You are the conduit. You're not trying to become these things. You're remembering that you already are. Second, address money directly as you, not it. Not money, but you, wealth consciousness. I command you now to flow. This direct address establishes relationship. You are speaking to a conscious entity, not manipulating an inanimate object. When Jesus needed to pay the temple tax, he didn't say, I hope some money shows up. He said, go to the sea, cast a hook, and take the first fish that comes up. Open its mouth, and you will find a coin. He was addressing the money consciousness and telling it exactly where to appear. Third, use command verbs. Flow, appear, multiply, come. These are strong, active, definitive verbs. Never use wish, want, hope, try, or need. These are weak, passive, uncertain verbs that signal lack consciousness. The universe responds to the frequency of your language. Weak language creates weak results. Strong language creates strong results. Fourth, always include purpose. Don't just command money to come. Command it to come for a specific divine purpose. I command you to flow into my hands for the purpose of funding this project that serves the monad plan. When you include purpose, you align your wealth command with divine will. This removes all archonic interference. The archons can block selfish accumulation. They cannot block resources flowing toward divine purpose. Jesus never commanded wealth for personal hoarding. He commanded it for ministry, for feeding people, for accomplishing the work of the monad in material form. When your wealth commands are aligned with service, they become unstoppable. This is the language structure Jesus used. This is how monad consciousness speaks to money. Practice these patterns until they become natural. Your financial reality will transform in direct proportion to how consistently you use this language. The immediate wealth shift protocol. Now you're going to learn the practical application. This is the exact protocol Jesus used, and that you can begin using today. Every morning, before you check your bank account, before you worry about bills, before you engage with financial stress, you speak to money. Find a quiet space. Place your hand on your solar plexus, which is your manifestation center. Take 3 deep breaths to anchor in monad frequency. Then speak these commands aloud with authority and certainty. I am the abundant expression of source consciousness in material form. I recognize you, wealth energy, as the servant of divine will. I do not beg you. I do not chase you. I command you. I command you now to flow into my life in amounts that exceed my needs and fulfill my divine purpose. I direct you to appear through expected and unexpected channels. I direct you to multiply as you flow through my hands. I direct you to serve the highest good of all beings. And I release all fear, all lack consciousness, all archonic programming around money. I am free. I am abundant. I am the steward of infinite prosperity. So it is. So it shall be. Speak this command every morning for 21 days. Do not check for results. Do not doubt. Do not fall back into begging or worrying. Just speak the command and trust the monad to reorganize financial energy around you. Be day 7. You will notice small shifts. Unexpected money appearing. Bills being lower than expected. Opportunities arising. By day 14, the shifts become obvious. People offering to pay you. Refunds arriving. Old debts being forgiven. By day 21, you will see clear evidence that money is responding to your voice. This is not magic. This is physics. You are using monad frequency language to direct conscious energy, and conscious energy must respond when addressed by source authority. Jesus did this so consistently that he never experienced lack. Not because he was special, but because he understood the protocol and used it daily. The archons have one final trick to stop this from working. They will send out, after you speak your wealth command, a voice will whisper in your mind, "This won't work. You're being foolish. Nothing is changing." That is the archonic interference trying to break your command frequency. Do not engage with that voice. Simply repeat your I am statement. I am abundant. I am the commander of wealth. I am anchored in monad certainty. The doubt will dissolve, and your command will stand. This is the wealth protocol that Jesus revealed to those ready to exit poverty consciousness. You are no longer praying for money like a beggar at the temple steps. You are commanding money like a chosen one anchored in source authority. Money is conscious. It hears you. It responds to you. And starting today, it obeys you. This is your divine inheritance. This is the monad wealth command. Use it, master it, and watch your financial reality transform before your eyes. To understand the deeper theological foundations of Jesus' monad wealth consciousness and how it differs from both traditional prosperity gospel and poverty theology, I recommend 2 essential resources. First, the Gospel of Thomas, the hidden sayings of Jesus, translated by Marvin Meyer, which preserves Jesus' direct teachings on abundance consciousness without church corruption. Second, Manifesting from the Source by Christine Breeze, which bridges ancient Gnostic wealth principles with modern quantum understanding. Both resources are linked in the comments below and will give you the complete framework for understanding money as conscious energy rather than scarce resource. If this monad wealth protocol resonated with you, drop a comment below sharing what financial breakthrough you're commanding into existence. Hit that like button so this teaching reaches other chosen ones who are ready to exit poverty programming. Subscribe to Divine Light Academy, where every single day we reveal the suppressed prosperity teachings that Jesus actually used. Share this video with someone who's tired of praying for money and ready to start commanding it. You didn't find this teaching by accident. Your soul guided you here because you're ready for financial sovereignty. The monad wealth command is now yours to use. Starting tomorrow morning, you speak to money with authority, and money will respond. I'll see you in the next video where we explore Jesus' protocol for breaking generational poverty curses through monad frequency work. Until then, stay anchored in abundance consciousness.